Hey, welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Dahvie Vanity case, specifically about Jessie Slaughter. The true context of this situation is much more than it appeared to be. Today in social commentary. Oh, it's so hot. So if you Google search Jessie Slaughter, you'll see articles by BuzzFeed, Independent, and others. You know your meme, talking about how she became a meme, how she became this staple of a bullying situation. The context of this runs much deeper and has a lot to do with Dahvie Vanity. So I wanted to frame my video in the light to show you that who was directly responsible for this situation. This is my second full-length video on Dahvie Vanity and bringing his actions to the light. Jessie Slaughter now goes by the name Damian Rose Leonhardt. I think it's also important for me to say that in the context of this video, we're going to be saying Jessie Slaughter, referring back to the past. I have heard that Damian now goes by they, them pronouns. So when we're speaking about this story in specific, it will be about the events that took place. And to understand this entire situation, we need to go back to July 10th of 2010. There was this old drama website, stickydrama.com, and it's like a post board where they kind of just posted all the dramas. It's like guru gossip, lolcow, and different things like that. A specific post on the 10th of July read, "Blood on the Dance Floor lead singer Dahvie Vanity is at it again. He was apparently having a friends with benefits type relationship with self-proclaimed scene queen Jessie Slaughter, who is only 11 years old." So here, this person tried to have a conversation with Jessie Slaughter to try to warn her, sent her a screen cap of an arrest record of Dahvie Vanity. I have talked to her about it, and all she had to say was, "GTFO, Dahvie and I don't exist, I'm just a fan." But I have also talked to other people who said they did blank last summer when she was just 10 years old. I cannot believe that Dahvie has sunk to this level. I don't know whether this rumor is true, but if it is, he's disgusting. So on this thread, there was a lot of other disturbing things I wanted to point out, like Dahvie kissing this 15-year-old girl at a concert. The caption reads, "On his Facebook, he was tagged by some chick," and I was like, okay. Then I lurked a little and noticed she's in the class of 2013. That makes her 15 years old, and you can clearly tell this is a young girl. There are several other pics, but they've long since been removed. So when this post came out, obviously Jessie was receiving a lot of attention, a lot of hate, a lot of different things from this thread. This prompted her to reply on this thread saying, "People STFU, this is a very private matter and I'm dealing with it. This post ruined my life." And yes, this was my status on MySpace because I saw a squirrel fall out of a tree in my backyard, and it was funny to me. My mom has read this and is talking to Dahvie on the phone right now. So I would shut your mouth if I were you. I have my life and Dahvie has his. We are just friends. If you have stuff to say about us, keep it your little words. Well, you see where this is going. I do want to point out that Dahvie was a mid-20s-year-old man at this time, and had no business being even friends with a 10 to 11-year-old little girl. The hate persisted, and Jessie, being so young, she did her best to try to use her platform to fight back. She posted a video saying,
"YouTube, it's Jessie Slaughter here, and this is to all you haters, okay? Guess what? You guys are bitches. You know what? You don't faze me. I'm just doing this just so you can tell. I read the comments, I read the messages, I reply to them, but you know what? I don't give a f***. I'm happy with my life, okay? And if you can't, realize that and stop hating, then you know what? I'll pop a Glock in your mouth and make a brain slushy, okay?"
Jessie can be seen wearing a Blood on the Dance Floor t-shirt, and I can imagine her being 10 years old. The amount of influence that Dahvie had around this time was insane. This had been so overwhelming for her. What was happening was something that she could not comprehend at that age. Jessie's video did not go as she planned, and it didn't work in her favor, as someone posted it to the 4chan board, and it went pretty viral. A lot of harassment happened. I ran into a piece of a receipt on Google where they called it the You Done Goofed Initiative, where they were purposely and specifically targeting this young girl. Imagine the internet targeting a 10 to 11-year-old girl, calling her a liar, saying that these things didn't happen, and making her feel all these types of emotions. It's hard to even think about it, and trying to dox her. I seen in this dox receipt that it showed all her social medias, her phone number, her house address, her school address. It was a pretty hard dox. And to make it even worse, that Dahvie Vanity himself doxed her telephone number along with this. You can see in this tweet, he says, "Here's Lady No Good Attitude's phone number. You, the fan, should totally call and tell her how you feel," and then asks for a retweet, to which it did. You can see some of the comments saying, "Whose number is that? Or am I going to have to find out?" Another one saying, "Don't sink to that level. If you don't have good memories, just leave it behind you. That's so immature. WTF, aren't you almost 30? It's crazy to me." And I want to frame this video and show you guys specifically the context that this wasn't just about internet bullying. This all was because of Dahvie Vanity. He terrorized this 10-year-old little girl. At this point, she should have gotten off the internet, but you being that young, you're not completely understanding the development of the circumstances. You're gonna make decisions that aren't the best for you. This started affecting her at school. She lost friends over this. She became suicidal. All the pressure and the doxing caught the attention of the police. They started to do an investigation, and still she did not stay off the internet. And then one night she was doing a live stream, and her dad got on the video, and well.
Okay, this is Jimmy Flutter. I just want to tell you guys that you ruined my life. My household has been torn ever since you guys started doing this. I haven't been able to do anything. Okay.
And don't be saying suicide.
I'm not. I'm saying I haven't been able to eat. I haven't been able to sleep.
Well, guess what? And my daughter's not lying. And I'm not going to put up with any of you people's crap anymore. If you ain't got something nice to say about my daughter, then keep your mouth shut. And any more of your comments to put on there, I'm recording them all, and they are being sent to the police department. And guess what? Your emails will be caught and will be bound. And who said you're going to beat my daughter up? You will have to deal with the police, because you done goofed.
See, I haven't been able to eat or sleep or anything. I was just shopping. I've been having emotional breakdowns in a row. Everything's just been hating from me. I didn't do anything wrong. I am just a freaking little girl, and I know my shirt is going down. I know that, okay? Don't call me a freaking whore for that, okay? I'm torn. And if people who think I don't know Dahvie, I freaking do know him. My mom has answered the phone for him, okay? And he's been calling. And once he called when I was in school. Okay, you guys, this is Jessie Sutter, and I just wanted to say that you guys have ruined my life.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is from her father. You bunch of lying, no good punks. And I know who it's coming from, because I've back-traced it. And I know who's emailing and who's doing it. And you've been reported to the cyber police and the state police. So you better write one more thing, or screw with my computer again. You'll be arrested. End of conversation from her father.
You're right, fucking gonna come and beat her ass.
And if you come near my daughter, guess what? Consequences will never be the same. You lying bunch of pricks.
See, my house has been like this ever since everybody's been posting stuff about me, okay?
During the time that all this was happening, I can only imagine that Jessie didn't want to get her friend Dahvie in trouble. So she was bearing the full blunt of this on the internet. Now we're putting the true full context of what was really going on. This reminds me a lot of the 2007 incident that HuffPost talks about. We talked about this in my first video on Dahvie, where a 14-year-old girl named Diana Farrell called into a radio station and talked about her experience with Dahvie, where she said she did not want to get her friend in trouble. Quote saying, "Are you going to call him? You can't," Farrell pleaded with tears. "It's no big deal," she insisted. "Everything was consensual." Obviously, this is what Jessie must have been going through. The thought in her head that she was going to get her friend in trouble, and this is Dahvie's MO. He grooms these girls and makes them believe that what is going on is normal by normalizing the abuse. It's looking back on that situation with the context that we have now, it really it just makes me sick to my stomach. The video that I just showed you of her dad freaking out and all that, the internet, fueled by Dahvie Vanity. I want to make this clear. This was fueled by Dahvie Vanity. Turned this whole situation into a meme and made it go even more viral. So as you can see in Google Images, it turned into the "You Done Goofed" meme, where they made fun of her father. They continued to call her a liar. Multiple different things. Things started to escalate in their household. As you could see, it already wasn't going that good. And then her father was arrested for hitting Jessie in the mouth. One article says, March 25th, the father of Jessie Slaughter, the 12-year-old girl who last year became the victim of a vicious online swarm, was arrested last month on felony child abuse, charged for allegedly punching his daughter in the mouth during an argument. And this was also a very public thing that was heard in a live stream.
Don't unplug that computer!
You're such a fucking mouth! Don't tell me come back tomorrow and I might give a fuck! Jessica, I don't trust anybody! Anybody! Especially your friends!
So as you can see, the situation of the household was not good. Obviously, there was overwhelming pressure that was affecting their life. As you can imagine, they had everything doxed. They were receiving things in the mail. They were having these phone calls, prank phone calls. People were showing up to their houses. It was a terrible, terrible situation. And then Dahvie Vanity and his bandmate Jay Monroe, they didn't help the situation. One of the contributing factors of why the video went so viral is because of the response from Jay Monroe and Dahvie Vanity, which perpetuated the virality of the situation.
This fucking guy's ruining my life, and I know my shirt is falling down and fucking call me a whore for it.
Don't be saying so!
You guys are ruining my life.
That's one! I have nothing nice to say about my daughter! Don't say I'm recording this! I report you to the cyber police! And the state police! And whoever will beat my daughter, you will have to deal with the police! You done goofed! You done goofed!
At the time, these were popular online artists that are literally picking on a 10 to 11-year-old girl, one of them whom sexually assaulted her and started the entire situation. Now, I do want to make this point. This is why this video is being made. This is Dahvie Vanity's fault. And this is the context that needs to be put out there. Dahvie went on to write a song about this to make it even go more viral, to terrorize this young girl. The title of the song was "You Done Goofed."
All people hate my hearts and minds, and still the focal point is lies about me. Even blessed, but just fucking with someone who doesn't even fuck what you say. My name and reputation won't be the target of his life. I'll be on top of the world and you'll be crying yourself off.
So basically, to put it in perspective, two adult men, Dahvie Vanity, Jay Monroe, both made a video together and then wrote a song together about an 11-year-old girl who was sexually assaulted by Dahvie, making fun of her cutting herself, putting so much hurt on her and her family that the pressure must have been overwhelming. So Jessie was barred from the internet. She wasn't supposed to be on there. She was taken away from her family. A lot of things happened. And even after all this, you by now you can pretty much see, we have the future context. We know what Dahvie's done. So now looking back on it, you can see that this girl was not lying, that she was a victim. And even after all this stuff, their video, their doxing, and there's a song, the pressure made her come out and apologize to them in a video that she got someone else to record at school.
Okay. Is it recording? Yeah. Hi Dahvie, hi Jay, hi Sally, hi the whole BTDF spectrum. It's Jessica Rose, aka Jessica Slaughter here. I'm saying sorry for everything that I've done. I feel really bad about it now. I'm in foster care. I have been locked up in mental institutions, and just like you done said, I do have to go to counseling now and everything, but it's not because of you. So, I'm really sorry for everything that I've done. I'm sorry for accusing you of rape and everything. I know that all that happened. And
imagine this little girl being forced to apologize to... A BuzzFeed article says life was not kind to Damien in the following years. Not long after the video, she was placed in foster care. My dad was really abusive towards me and my mom, says Damien. You kind of saw the anger issues with him in the video and put extra stress on my family, which made him even angrier. In 2011, their father died of a heart attack, and in 2012, Damien moved back in with their mother. It's terrible. Like, this whole situation is terrible. Damien did come forward, and they did tell the truth about the situation in a post I'm about to read now. She says, please do not get offended by this. I personally am not bothered by people asking me questions about what happened to me, but you should never, ever, ever ask unsolicited questions about people's traumatic experiences. It's rude, it's stupid, it's none of your business. I'm going to talk about the incidents of sexual misconduct by Dahvie Vanity, David Jesus Torres, towards a 10, 11-year-old me. People still don't believe me and ask me stupid questions like this all the time, even after all the allegations against him, even after him getting kicked off tours, even after former friends and bandmates coming out against him. People still ask me, of all people, why I lied about Dahvie Vanity. I didn't. I'm not going to go into great detail about what happened to me, at least not publicly, without legal advisors, but I will say loudly, clearly, and without hesitation, Dahvie Vanity, David Jesus Torres, raped me. He is an abuser, sexually, emotionally, and physically. I am not afraid of him anymore. I'm not afraid of the fan base that he got to attack me until I recanted my statement when I was 11 to 12 years old. I am no longer staying silent, not after so many young kids got hurt after me. This is one of the most tragic stories, tragic circumstances that I've ever heard on the internet. And I can't emphasize enough that looking back on it, it must have been terrible going through something like that. I do want to say to Damien that none of this was your fault and that you're very, 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 very strong for speaking up about this. I did reach out to Damien and gave her my support. I asked her if she wanted to talk about this on the Repzilla channel. She said that she's already done a couple interviews and she wants to kind of sit back and see how the internet acts towards that. And I completely understand that, as she was a victim of online abuse for years. So I just want to, I want to say again, I want my community to give her nothing but good vibes, positive vibes, all the support that you can, all the love that you can, because what was done to her when she was so young was an injustice, and it isn't right. And I want you guys to understand that this was the fault of Dahvie Vanity. Also do want to say that Dahvie is trying to rebrand himself as Kawaii Monster, so let's not let him do that. That being said, if you need me, reach out to me on Facebook. Allow me a little bit of time. I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me on Facebook. I'm going to go through the DMs today after this video releases. I want to know what you guys think about this serious subject, so go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. I do want to apologize for not having this video on Friday. I wanted to give it the proper care that it needed. I am working on another video about Jay Monroe and Jeffree Star in that situation there. I know there was an interview on Chris Hansen's YouTube channel, which I'll put that interview in the description below. I was initially going to put it in this video, but I didn't want to have like this hour-long video. I wanted to get something that was easily digestible. That way this would spread further. Also do want to thank my patrons. It's really amazing that you guys are continuing to support me in this time with all the COVID-19 stuff happening and how scary that is. I really appreciate that support, and without you guys, I wouldn't be able to make videos on this channel at all, especially with everything that's going on, and it's affecting the ad revenue to where it's like every video now pretty much is demonetized because YouTube had to cut down on their staff, and it's all on bot mode now. So, but that being said, I really appreciate you guys for being here. Another video. We're going to continue to follow this story. If you guys are interested in following this, subscribe, notifications turned on, because it's another way to show that you're ripping. If you're not ripping, you're getting. How you do that? All you got to do is subscribe, notifications turned on. Be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Dahvie sucks.